Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. As you know, fall is the time when we all kind of look forward what we're going to wear in the winter months, what's the fashion going to be like. And I'm going to do a fashion video today with a twist, because I have some of the designer items that some people are saying are out of style, and I disagree. There are some designer items that I will wear no matter if they are in or out of fashion, because I just love them so much. This is going to be, of course, kind of like a window into my style, but more importantly for you, it's going to be an indicator which items you might want to consider purchasing. Even though some people are saying they are out, there are still some others, me included, who do not think so. So let's go. Item that I've seen some of YouTubers saying that it's out, Gigi Gucci belt. This belt is actually the core of a lot of my outfits, and I cannot imagine not having this in my collection and not wearing it. It's true, there's been a time where this belt was everywhere, and at that time I have to admit I was a bit fed up with it, but now because it's kind of died down and it's not so present anymore, I fell in love with it again, and I have it in black and in nude, and I think I have it in off-white as well. So I went all out with this belt because I knew when I bought my first one that it really suits my frame, that really suits my style of outfits, the way I dress. It goes with everything. So the bottom line with this specific Gucci belt, it's not so much if it's in or out of fashion, but if you can incorporate it in your style, in your wardrobe. So if you can see that it's gonna work, that it's gonna work with a lot of outfits, don't mind the people who are saying that it's out. Just wear it with pride like I do. And for me, this belt was definitely worth the price, because at the end of the day, designer belts are not exactly cheap. So I think my purchases through a lot. Before I actually buy anything designer, I really think where I'm gonna wear it with, and I have like a basic rule. This goes for shoes, for bags, for belts, for anything that it's like, you know, the more expensive price. I always try to imagine 10 outfits that I can wear this with, and it doesn't count if you have the same sweater with 3, okay? It has to be 10 versatile outfits, and if you can wear the item with at least 10 different outfits, then for me, in my book, it's worth the price. The next category is not so much items that are out of fashion, but items when we kind of like question ourselves if they are worth it. And the top of this list is definitely a Chanel belt. Well, Chanel belts are like 3 or 4 times the price of Gucci. It depends which kind, which type you take. Some of the Gucci ones are quite expensive as well. Some of them are not, so it depends on the style. But let's go for the argument's sake that Chanel is much more expensive than Gucci. So this belt, I was actually really lucky. This is the leather stretchy one, and I found this one on one of the pre-loved sites, and I was thrilled because this is a classic, and I've never seen it before or after actually coming up on the pre-loved site. It was still expensive, don't get me wrong. I mean, the person selling it, of course, knew what the price of this was, but the problem was that it was sold out everywhere in Chanel boutiques. It was impossible to buy. So for this one, I kind of had to go pre-loved because there was no way of getting new one. This belt, or this type of belt, let's say, because this particular one I don't think you can actually get in Chanel boutiques anymore, but this type of belt is now, the price is extortionate. I think it's like over 1,200 euros or something like that. It's like, for a belt, are you kidding me? I mean, okay, if this is gold, then yeah, but of course it's not. It's not fair for me to say don't buy it, because I love this belt. I wear it with so many different outfits, and I can't imagine not having this belt, but I paid like much less than what the price is today. So even though this belt I love, it's very versatile. It goes with jeans, it goes with very fancy dresses, and I really love it. I cannot emphasize how much I love this belt. But for this price, for the price that they're selling it now, hell no. I'm sure you can find something that will work to a certain degree as this one. And because for me, I mean, paying over 1,000 euros, it's like, are you insane? Like, seriously, Chanel. To be honest, I don't think that the problem is on the Chanel side. I don't think Chanel is insane. I actually think they're very smart, because they figure it out that we are willing to pay that much. I mean, some people are willing to pay that much. So as long as there will be people paying insane prices for a belt, why would they lower the prices? I mean, you know, so it's on us. Don't buy anything that's an extortionate price. But if you can find it on pre-loved site, if you can find it on like for a good price for Chanel, this one is definitely the staple of my designer collection. The next designer belt ticks all the boxes. It's price-wise, it's still okay. It looks amazing. It goes with everything, and you can still buy it in every or almost every Dior. So this belt you can buy in a nylon or like fabric, and then you have the leather version. I have the leather version. I think this is like 2 centimeters or something, a bit more narrow, maybe 1.8, I'm not sure, but it's quite thin belt. I took the longer version that I necessarily needed for my waist because I wanted to wear this on my hips as well. So when I wear it in my waist, it's kind of like a bit long on the side, but luckily you have, you know, this thing here. This one is definitely worth buying. It's a classic, and I don't see this one going anywhere anytime soon. As I said before in my videos, the big bags are coming back. So the tiny micro nano bags are still around, but they are kind of like on their way out for now, and big bags are coming back in. So if you are younger and you are not used to fashion kind of like circling yet, this is just a great example why you should never get rid of the items, especially not designer one, because you paid so much more for them, before when the trend is kind of like on the way out, because it's gonna come back. You know, it's just the fashion goes in circles. I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but just in case you didn't, it's worth emphasizing that don't throw away your little bags, because they're gonna come back. You know, in a few years they're gonna be all the hype again, but for now we are going towards really, really big bags. I don't see this trend catching on to everybody, because to those of us who are not exactly very tall, these huge bags just, it doesn't look good. We can't pull this off. I mean, in my opinion, it just looks ridiculous because they're bigger than us. So this trend, while it is trend and it's gonna stay for the next few months for sure, I don't see everybody wearing those types of bags. It was the same thing with these tiny sunglasses. Do you remember? Every celebrity used to wear them. They were like really, really thin, narrow, and they looked so bizarre. And no matter how much they tried, it just didn't catch on, because you needed to have a really specific outfit, specific type of face and hair and everything for that sunglasses to actually work. And it was just too much hassle. So I guess most of us just kind of say, thank you, but no thank you. So I think the big bags are going to be slightly more obvious, especially they're going to be present on Instagram and social media, that's for sure, because, you know, we have influencers doing that. This is the kind of like big bag that I'm comfortable with. This bag is big enough that I can still be, you know, in the big bag trend if I wanted to, but it will still look nice on my body and not kind of like overwhelm me. So that's another item that I will never get rid of. Big bags and small bags, and whatever I buy designer, I try to buy like classic colors. That's gonna stay. So big bags, I've had this for like 10 years now, I think, and it looks like it's gonna be quite fashionable again this season. So there you go. And the last kind of like classic designer items that some people are saying now it's out of style is Balmain blazer. Now, I don't have Balmain blazer because for me that's too expensive. I can't justify paying that much for a blazer, but I do have a lot of dupes. This is just the style of the blazer that looks like Balmain, but of course it's not. You can see the difference in the shoulders and the way that is kind of like cut, and of course the materials are different, but it doesn't matter. It's the style we are talking about, so not specifically Balmain, but specifically that particular style, which means blazers with gold buttons. I think I have about 20 of those types of blazers with gold buttons, and I usually wear them in the studio and in private life because I just love that style. So for me, that blazer is a classic. It's not going anywhere. You will always have some people who will say, oh, that's out of fashion, don't wear this anymore, wear that. But that's their job. That's their job to tell you about the new fashion trends, and luckily it's not my job. You can wear, firstly, whatever it feels right for you, and secondly, there are for sure some items who are considered classic and they will always be in style. It's just how you style them, what you style them with, that changes through season through seasons, but you know, in general, this blazer is not going anywhere. And if you are thinking of buying one, maybe now that the trend kind of died down, you will be able to buy something on Preloved site, because a lot of times people will buy this and not even wear it. So don't be kind of scared that it's a clothing that somebody else already wore, because a lot of times I actually did found new items with a tag attached for like half a price of the original. Luckily, there are so many brands that are doing this type of blazers now. You don't need to buy the original Balmain, but of course it's the style we are talking about, and again, this blazer is not going anywhere. Thank you for watching, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.